Hi everyone and welcome to the men's session for Saturday. We've got the 73s, the 81 and the 96 weight categories all today with a variety of lifters in each, the 96 being the more packed of the lot. Shortly we'll be showing the medal ceremony from the women's competition earlier on, but we've got about 2.5 minutes before the male presentation. Here we are, just showing some of the medals. We've got Ellie Granger collecting her medal here. Emma McIntyre collecting the gold in the 64s. And Megan Signal collecting the gold for the 71s. Megan recently coming back from a pretty major shoulder injury and surgery. So good to see her looking on form so quickly.
Athletes is 1 minute presentation. Please be ready.
And here we have the athletes coming out, presentation.
Good afternoon, athletes. Welcome to the stage in session 2. We would like to welcome Vesta Villalon from New Zealand.
First up, we've got Vesta Villalon in the 73 weight category.
Curran Power.
Next up, we have Curran Power in the 81s. We have Johan Roberts in the 81 as well. And then our final 81 lifter will be Jerome Tura. Cook Islands lifter.
Douglas Saccone-Fraser.
In the 96s, we have Douglas Saccone-Fraser. We have Colin Klenner.
New Zealand.
We have Waialesi Whanaki from Tonga.
Waialesi
We
Whanaki
have
from
Xavier Albert
Tonga.
from New Zealand. Cameron McTaggart,
Xavier Albert
Ethan
from New Zealand.
Dombrowski, and Cam Urgent all from New Zealand as well.
Cameron McTaggart from New Zealand. Ethan Dombrowski from New Zealand. And Cameron Urgent from New Zealand.
So we've got quite a mix of athletes here, some veteran international competitors. I know Cam Urgent previously gone to the University Games, had a brief break from the international stage, but is now back at it. And Cam, our recent Olympian. Doug will be looking to put up a total and potentially qualify for the Commonwealth Games shortly. But Cam already secured a spot in the 81s, I believe.
Centre judge, Carl Duncan.
Our centre judge will be Carl Duncan.
Our pole poll is our right judge.
Our right judge of Paul Pollen.
And Jason Fanning on the left.
Jason Fanning taking up the left
Our
referee
marshal of the
position.
session is Odette Smith.
Odette Smith, marshal for the
And
session.
technical controller, Andy Jameson.
Andy Johnson taking up the role of technical controller.
Thank you, officials.
have a 10-minute clock
I'd like to
before
introduce
our first
also
lifter comes
our
in.
jury for the session. Barbara Green, Keisha Soap, and Ellen Carney. Athletes, competition will start in 10 minutes.
I didn't touch the camera. 98. Ed, is it 98? Read, oh, read. I wanted to see it.
So Jodie, who here is looking to still qualify for their Commonwealth Games spot?
So we'll start with the 73s. So we've got Vista in the men's 73, so he'll be looking to qualify today. Doug, as you've already mentioned, will be looking to qualify, but I think Cam Urgit and will be hot on his heels. All those boys in that 96 class will be putting their best shot out to try and get that. And then obviously we have our two internationals with Jerome and Wire out of the Cook Islands and Tonga, who will also be trying to get on that ranking list for the Commonwealth Games. So last weekend of the qualifying period, that all closes off on the 28th. So this is literally everybody's last shot to get on the list and make their mark.
Yeah, and I believe there's a competition in Singapore on at the moment as well.
Yes, so there's one on in Singapore at the moment, the Mauritius International Competition and the Canadian Invitational as well. So
our lifters will be looking to beat them to the top 8 position, is it, in order to qualify?
Yeah, so pretty busy weekend with everyone trying to make their mark and get their way there. So these guys will be hoping that whatever they put up today gets them in a spot and that doesn't get wiped out over the weekend. So pretty crazy times in weightlifting, but exciting for everyone here.
You can see Johan there warming up.
He's a bit of a phenom, isn't he?
He's
young.
Certainly up and coming. A lot more potential. But looks like Jerome will probably be our first lifter to come out. He's posted an initial lift of 98 kilos. Often lifters will put down their first attempt a little bit lighter than what they will actually take when the time comes to it. But it looks like Curran, who will be the lifter to follow, is a little ways ahead. So So the coaches will be looking to time their warm-ups so that by the time the athlete comes out onto the platform, they're feeling pretty fresh, which is why you'll see some athletes taking attempts now at possibly some heavier weights. They'll probably be coming out first. Other athletes sitting tight, knowing that there'll probably be some of the later ones to follow.
amazing setup here this weekend. The Colmar facility out in Papatoetoe. Often compete out here and have been a long time supporter of New Zealand weightlifting events, which is pretty cool. Never seen it look quite this good though.
Yep, home ground for some of the athletes here as well, which hopefully is to their advantage. We'd just like to thank the pub charity for the grant that we've got that's enabled us to put up all this staging. Certainly goes a long way in us being able to run these competitions.
please have 100 kilos on the bar, please, for our first lifter.
Got a few seconds remaining before our first lifter comes out.
100, please.
Jerome moving up, going to 100 kilos, but will still be our first lifter.
Thank you, Lawrence. We've got 100 kilos on the bar for our first lifter.
And the bar's all loaded up, just waiting for Jerome to make his way out. Possibly still waiting for the clock to start as well. Jerome ready to go. Our opening lift of the competition. Looks to be a good first lift there from Jerome. Just have to see if the judges agree. Slight delay in our system.
That's a good lift.
Judges have declared that they're happy.
So things to be looking for in Snatch is the lifter needs to make sure they land with locked elbows, moving the bar in one motion and not unlocking that elbow at any point. So Jerome's first lift there, a very, very strong example of a good snatch from a technical standpoint.
As Jerome is following himself, he will have a 2-minute break between his lifts. If there were another lift to follow, they would have 1 minute. If you do elect to make a change when you're following yourself, you have until the first 30 seconds to do so. If you fail to either declare your lift or increase it, unfortunately you will be unable to change it. So Jerome has got his declaration in nice and early.
Thank you, Lotus. Jerome 105 is on the bar. You have 1 minute 53.
Jerome's made his way onto the platform for a second attempt, 105 kilos. Decent amount of power in that lift. Just have to see what the judges think. And they're happy. Second good lift there for Jerome. Now, depending on what he wants for his third attempt, we might see a new lifter come to the platform. Potentially Curran or Johan. but they also might elect to move up for their openers.
For Jerome, he's wanting to go up. Locus, we have 110 on the bar.
The bar is going to 110, which both Curran and Johan have declared, just as Jerome did. They might move up from their opening declaration.
Thank you, ladies. We have 110 on the bar for Curran Power's first attempt.
So the call is currently on Curran, but he doesn't appear to be on the platform, so expecting possibly Johan or
and we have a change.
even Ethan Dombrowski.
Curran is wanting to go up. 1-1-0 will remain on the bar. We have a change of victor. This will bring Ethan Dombrowski for his first snatch attempt. Ethan, you have 1 minute.
And looks like Ethan's coming up to the platform. Ethan, one of the younger lifters in the session, in the 96 category. And a reasonably routine lift there for Ethan.
Well done.
Nice, confident opener for Ethan, and what would I think is his first international event.
As far as I know.
So always good to get out there and get your first snatch, and to do it so confidently. He'll be feeling good about his next lifts now after that. Blow out some nerves.
So we got 110 staying on the bar, with potentially Jerome coming out on this. And there he is. Solid lockout there for Jerome.
And that's very good.
The judges are happy. It's a great snatch session there from Jerome, 3 for 3. Call will shortly be on Ethan, but as we expected, he's moved up. So potentially Johan or Colin Fenner. Johan is the youngest lifter in the session today.
Johan trains at Christchurch, I believe.
As far as I'm aware. Curran Power down there with him, so competing against one of his teammates. Should be a good battle there.
Here comes Johan now.
A good opening lift there, a little forward, but I'm sure he'll correct that on the next one. Johan currently has the clean and jerk and the total record in the 81 juniors for New Zealand, so potentially getting closer or taking that snatch record today. Now we've got Colin coming out in the 96s, also electing to take 115 as his opening weight.
You see each lifter approaching the bar and the platform in a slightly different way.
And a smooth lift there from Colin.
So you see Colin came on determined and in a very sort of focused way, where Johan before him almost sauntered across the stage in a very deliberately casual approach. Every weightlifter will have practiced that and have their preferred way of coming to the platform in order to set themselves up in the right headspace for their lift.
Let's bring out Karen Howard to the platform.
So Curran potentially coming out on 116 here, looking to beat his teammate by 1 kilo. They'll be fairly neck and neck for the snatches, but Curran is what we might call a snatch specialist. And that is, snatch and clean and jerk are relatively close compared to the norm in weightlifting.
Super tidy opener from Curran.
Yeah.
Beautiful looking
Can't have any
snatch.
complaints there. Got himself on the board.
Curran has been a regular fixture in New Zealand Olympic weightlifting for a long time.
A seasoned international lifter.
Yep, first representing New Zealand, I think, as a youth athlete. Quite some time ago now.
Lotus, could we please have a change to 117?
Although being born in 1997, he's still got plenty of years left in him. Makes me feel old. Declan.
117 is on the bar for Karen Howard's second.
So currently the call just changed over. We're expecting Vesta to potentially come out. He's put down his opener as 118. He may move up, and he has done. Vesta moved up to 120, meaning that Ethan will come out for a second attempt at 118. It's a pretty big jump, 8 kilos. I'm sure that'll be well calculated by the coaching team.
118 on the bar for the second attempt for Ethan Dombrowski.
Another very routine lift there from Ethan. What some athletes elect to do is choose a relatively light opener just to guarantee that they get themselves on the board, and then look to play around their second and third attempts. It can be quite helpful, especially if you just lack that international competition experience.
Looks very cool, calm and collected out there, Ethan. So very confident lifting so far.
Potentially got Vesta coming out for his first attempt at 120 kilos. This is getting reasonably close to Vesta's all-time bests. So it looks like he might potentially be taking an all-or-nothing approach at this competition. Vesta moving up to 122. So now we've got Johan coming out at 120. Even better second lift there for Johan.
That slight forward from the first lift, completely corrected, and really placed that in a really nice position.
He'll almost certainly be going for that junior record on his third attempt.
Didn't even need to stabilise at the bottom, just able to stand that straight up. You always know it's a good snatch when you just get to move through with the bar. You
That's the
don't have
goal.
to save it.
Looks a little soft in the elbows there. Just have to see whether the judges pick that up. Yeah, looks like they have one white though, so clearly he's got someone in his pockets.
I suspect he knew that he'd been a little bit soft there, and normally as a weightlifter you can feel that, and you do everything within your power to look as confident.
Looks like it was mainly shoulders there, so it was a little hard done by, but we're going to have a view here.
Oh yeah, just a little bit soft in that right elbow, I think, but definitely some shoulder movement that can sometimes masquerade as elbows and make it hard for the judges to make the call, but I think they got it right in that one.
Certainly a lot trickier to do it live than what we're doing with these replays.
We get the benefit of getting to see it again.
Looks like Collins elected to move up. Did look like a reasonably comfortable lift, other than the slight press out there. So we've got Curran coming out now for his second attempt at 121. Great lift there from Curran. I can't imagine that they're going to have any problem with that. And they don't. Curran just a very solid technician. Always a good one to watch. Always a nightmare to compete against.
Nice little nod to himself. Knew he'd done a good lift. Knew it was solid. So it looks like we might see Vesta coming out onto the platform today for his first lift at 122. Vesta is hunting down qualification for his second Commonwealth Games.
He'll need to pull out some big lifts today in order to secure that. But given how his training's been looking recently, he certainly seems capable of it. Really powerful lift there for Vesta. Referees are happy with that. By majority decision, just one red there. Got the replay here, we can see potentially what one judge took issue with. Yeah, a little bit of movement there in the elbows.
See it here from the front on.
Right, for the change, can we please have 123 on the bar?
Like we've already alluded to, movement at the shoulders can also be quite deceptive and just make judging that a little bit harder.
But he's on the board with 122. A really good opening lift. Really good number to start with as he sets himself up for qualification for Commonwealth Games this weekend.
Got Ethan coming out for his final attempt at 123.
Another decent jump there from Ethan.
Just nicked himself on the back there, but nothing too disastrous.
124 this is where Johan Roberts to the platform. Those 13.
Get a replay here.
Thank you, Lotus.
Just not quite able to lock out that left elbow. Loses it behind.
Here we've got Johan coming out for his third attempt. Looking to take that record. Unfortunately, just not quite. So he'll save that for his next competition, certainly.
This will bring you are the next lifter in 125 for your Snatch attempt.
So we got some big weights coming out now. Got the double reds. So we'll bring out Wyatt, our Tongan lifter, in this session.
Very powerful first lift from Wyatt.
Very seasoned lifter who's certainly capable of some massive weights.
We've got a very special loader on our loading team today. Out there, Cam McTaggart's dad, John, is helping load this session.
Front and centre, but not quite on the camera. He's just run off. That's unfortunate. Here we have a new lifter, Xavier Albert. Also electing to take 125. Strong opening lift there for Xavier.
Just checking title 125, please. This will bring Vesta in his second attempt.
Lifter to follow. Looks like it'll be Vesta at 125. Should he move up, we'll likely have Colin following.
Thank you, Lotus. 125. Vesta, you have 1 minute.
And Vesta's on the stage. More convincing lift from Vesta this time around at a heavier weight.
And he knew it too.
Clearly 122 was just too light for him.
Sometimes that does happen when a competition and the lifter might slightly overpull, which has the bar sort of dump down on them a little bit and make it a bit harder than it would normally be. Definitely looking strong at 125 though.
We've got Colin on the platform now. This will be a 10 kilo jump from his previous successful lift. And unfortunately not quite.
And that's no lift for Colin. Lotus will be title 125.
Quite a big weight between his second and third lifts.
Definitely going to go into it. It's always difficult to stay fresh in those big weights. Do you want to take a heavier weight and potentially fatigue yourself, or do you take something light and potentially not feel as fresh or ready for the heavier weights coming off the floor?
Looks like we've got Karen now.
Another really tidy lift from Curran. He'll be happy with that.
Nice little fist pump. Backing himself for a really good snatch session there. 3 from 3.
That puts him 5 kilos ahead of Johan, but looking at their opening clean and jerks, it might not be enough to take the total medal off of Johan.
Loaders, we have a change of weight. Can we please have 128? Vesta wants 128, please.
Vesta potentially coming out on 128. Seeing as he made a 3 kilo jump from 22 to 25, it's quite possible that he will end up taking this. Looks like he is ready.
Thank you, Loaders. 128 in the bar for third attempt.
Had to work for that one. Let's see what the judges say. And 3 white lights. He'll be happy with
lockout there. Yeah.
big grin as he jumps off the stage, setting himself really well up for clean and jerks.
Those are some big lifts he's pulled out today. Yeah. Just going behind a little bit, but manages to hold on.
Loaders, why we have 130 on the bar for you for your second snatch attempt.
Fortunately, not quite for wire.
No lift at 130 for wire. Loaders, can we have 130 please?
He'll be having a chat to his coach there, looking to put in some corrections to nail that, or maybe a little bit more.
Thank you, Loaders. We'll have 130 on the bar. This will bring Xavier Albert to the bar. Xavier, you have 1 minute for your second attempt.
Xavier Albert coming out on 130. Unfortunately, couldn't quite stabilise that overhead. This means is that potentially Wire gets a bit less rest than he expected.
Maguire is one of those lifters who trains here at Papatoetoe, so he's on home ground.
Quite a few of his teammates in this session as well. A lot of power again, but just couldn't quite place it.
Unfortunately, no lift for we tighten 130 again, please.
Looks like he left it just out in front of him a little bit.
So we're going to have 130. Oh, Xavier opting to go up.
So we'd like 132.
This might bring out Doug on 132. He's getting close to his personal best of 140, so I imagine he will be taking this.
Doug, also a seasoned international lifter for New Zealand.
Been competing on the international platform since he was a junior.
And has one of the more interesting pre-lift rituals. You'll see him looking through those now.
Very much a creature of habit in this sense. Certainly enough power in that lift, but potentially a soft elbow. But refs seem to be happy with that by majority. But we've got some movement from the jury, so potentially has not got enough there. And it's been overturned, so unfortunate for Doug. He'll possibly have to come out and take that again. I know this is something that Doug has struggled with in the past, is just trying to have a convincing lockout. He's certainly capable of getting bigger lifts overhead, but it's just whether he can do it to the standards that the referees expect.
Thank you, Lotus. We have 132 on the bar for the second attempt for Douglas.
So as Doug is following himself, he has a 2-minute clock, but he has elected to move up.
Lotus, have a change of one, please.
Backing himself that was a small technical error that he can correct and bring out the next lift.
What this does do, though, is open him up to potentially having his clock burned if Xavier also backs himself to go a bit heavier, or just wants to potentially force Doug to miss a heavier opener.
So we've just got a wee pause in the competition here while the loaders clean down the bar. And Odette out the back fanning Doug off while he waits. Pretty hot here today in Auckland.
It's not commonly a service that the technical officials offer, but he seems to have gotten lucky there.
Camera sitting there.
Bar is loaded. We've got both Xavier and Cam ready. Here we have Xavier coming out. Just stretching out the elbows. Unfortunately, the bar's just a little bit behind.
Lotus, get 135, please.
Bar now moving to 135. This will bring out Cam Urgett looks to be preparing himself to come up to the platform. Will buy Doug a little bit more time.
Cam there being coached today by New Zealand weightlifting royalty, Richie Patterson. Trains out of Richie's gym on the North Shore here in Auckland.
Cam had a bit of a hiatus from international competitions, but only fitting that this is his first competition back. Good effort there from Cam holding on to that. Referees are happy with that, so that's got him on the board.
Looked like it could have got away from him there, but he showed great control to hold on to that. Stand it up strongly for a good opening attempt. Means what we do have is a real battle on our hands between Doug and Cam Urgett now.
Certainly. Doug electing to go up from his 135 to 136. Seems like he's also taking a bit of an all-or-nothing approach in an attempt to qualify for the Commonwealth Games.
Finish.
And a much more convincing lift there from Doug.
Doug makes a statement with that lift, I think.
Waiting for the referee's decision, but we can already see that they're happy with that. This just tightens up the competition a bit between our remaining three lifters.
I can't help but think that Doug might have used that overturned lift as a bit of motivation for this one. Much more powerful and could feel the energy coming through that lift, I think.
Weight change. Can we please have 138 on the bar?
Doug being run today by Simon Kent, who is our New Zealand High Performance Director, but also heavily involved in the Papatoetoe Toy Club based here at Colmar. One of the many tireless individuals we have that run our sport in New Zealand.
So now we have 138 on the bar, which will bring out our Olympian of the session, Cam McTaggart. Fortunately, just not enough height on that lift there.
Yeah, definitely looks like he cut his pull short a little bit there, just left it out in front.
That can be a trickier thing to come back from, because potentially indicates that you just don't have the legs for it on that day. But given how seasoned a lifter Cam is, could be certain that he'll have another few goes at it.
Eagle eyes out there might notice that Cam is not lifting in his usual weight class today. Cam normally lifts in the 81, but had a minor surgery post Tokyo last year and is just on the recovery back from that. So just not putting his body through the stress of a potential cut at this time.
Just dipping his toes in the water to stay competition ready. Unfortunately, another no lift there for Cam.
Next, no lift for
Just going to
Cam,
put the pressure on a little bit.
Loaders, can we please tighten 138?
He may elect to move up to 139 just to buy a little bit more time, but we'll certainly let the clock run down a little bit more before they do that, just in case the other lifters elect to go up and potentially burn his clock.
Thank you, Loaders. 138 on the bar for Cam. And Taggart, you have 2 minutes.
Looks like he's getting the height on that lift, so just needs the confidence to get his head through and place it in the right position. Up the back, having a chat with Coach Richie. These two have worked together for a really long time. Cam knows exactly what he needs to do to come out and correct that lift.
And if he didn't, Richie's going to tell him again. Very unfortunate there. Looked like he got it just until he happened.
Loaders, can we 139 on the bar, please?
Made the required connection through the lift.
Might have caught himself on the chin there as it bounced as well, which some great positions there.
Just unable to hold on to it as he stands up.
And
oh yes, definitely looks like he may have hit himself.
Thank you, Loaders. We have 139.
You can always trust the barbell to kick you when you're down.
Second attempt.
It's a cruel sport. Here comes Cam Urget for his second lift.
Unfortunately, not quite there.
No lift for Cam Urget on 139. Can we please have that tightened?
Well, we got a replay of that. And just not quite placed in that little pocket that you want to be in.
Means we've got a real battle on our hands here for the snatches in the men's 96 class with Doug and Cam Urget, both with 1 lift left and currently both with 139 on the board. There we go, there's the change. Doug going up.
Forcing Cam out potentially a little bit earlier than he was expecting.
This is a standard game that weightlifting coaches play out the back.
This will be a big lift though for Doug. Some potential risk there.
Cam looks like he's also gone up. So
Loaders, we have a change of weight. Can we please have 140 on the
Moving
bar?
up just for the number though, not to change the lifting order.
buying himself a bit more recovery time, setting himself up. The key for everyone to remember in this is this is just one portion of the competition, so getting a strong snatch sets you up for a good clean and jerk, takes a bit of pressure off.
Unfortunately, another no lift there for Cam. So we'll have the bar loaded to 141 for Doug's final attempt and the final snatch.
Doug already up on the stage, so that is totally allowed in weightlifting. You just He just isn't allowed to step onto the platform itself until the clock starts for his attempt, but he's clearly ready to go.
Thank you, Lotus. Start 141 on the bar for you.
So now that that clock is running, he can step on the platform at any time.
Tight. Finish. Cool.
Fortunately, not quite for Doug.
That leaves the competition wide open for the clean and jerks.
1 kilo difference between first and second there.
And with equal opening clean and jerk numbers on the board, we're set for a very exciting second half of this competition.
We certainly are. We've got a 10-minute break before that starts. So we will see you shortly.
What a good workout, eh?
The only one that was left was all in the 45. I
Yeah.
carried all the way through the top of the door
Yeah.
open. Like, just a little bit
Yeah.
of 45.
I think it's someone's sick joke, eh?
Yeah. By rules of 25.
He was in the bathroom.
Oh, yeah, fine.
Because I was saying that on the last session, like, there was a few.
I think what I'll do is
Here we go. Here we go.
catch it at the other
Yeah. Yep. And it needs to be hit this end.
right down there, man.
Oh, I was wondering once you hit it. And
Belt 130.
thank you. 130.
Yeah. So basically, just 2.5s.
Yep.
Great stuff. Great stuff.
I reckon we can get a job.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
you, Alex.
And we're a few short seconds away from the start of our clean and jerk session.
Notice we have 135 on the bar. 135 will bring Karen Cowell to the platform for his first attempt at the clean and jerk.
So we've got the bar loaded up to 135 now, and we're expecting Curran to come out and take this. Whether or not that changes and that Jerome comes out beforehand, still waiting to find out.
Karen, you have 1 minute.
Don't see too much stirring in the back room, so Curran possibly going up.
Loaders. We have a change of lifter.
So Curran's moved up to 136. Jerome still has 135 on the bar. And the clock is counting down. See Vesta warming up there, 140. Preparing to be coming out shortly after these lifters.
Oh, I've just spotted that Vesta's dropped his opening clean and jerk back by a kilo. Had 150 on there prior to the break.
Possibly just wanting to come out a little early and get done over with. Avoid playing games with the other lifters.
Especially after such a strong showing in the snatch portion.
Jerome with 135. Good jerk there. A little slow on the dip drive there, which just means you miss out on a little bit of whip from the bar, but certainly enough leg strength there to get it overhead.
Didn't seem to trouble him too much. Nice clean lockout on that jerk.
Thank you, Lotus. 136 on the bar for Karen Cowell's first attempt.
Here comes Curran for his first clean and jerk. 136 on the bar.
Great clean there. Belt's just come undone, unfortunately. Doesn't seem to shake him too much.
No, a nice confident opening clean and jerk there from Curran.
And the refs are happy. Got himself on the board. Looking an inch closer to Johan's opening clean and jerk. He's currently down at 150.
Have some international lifters here today, and nice to see some support from them, from their family and coaches.
Jerome looking to go 140 for a second attempt.
Thank you, Lotus. 140 kilos on the bar for Jerome.
So the bar's now loaded.
Jerome, you have 1 minute.
We're expecting Jerome to come out and take this now. A 5 kilo jump is pretty standard for males lifting around these weights. Anything more might just be a little bit too much. But certainly not off the cards. Seconds left on the clock. And a reasonably tidy clean. And a reasonably smart block out there. Refs are happy again there.
There tends to be two types of lifters in weightlifting. Those who are happy to lift with the clock running out, and those who want to get up and on the platform and out before the 30 seconds. Jerome there, leaving it to 7 seconds left on the clock to pull the lift. Clearly in the first camp.
Not quite as close as the 1 second we had on the clock earlier on, but definitely getting there. And the clock only starts once the bar has passed the lifter's knees, so should they begin the lift with 1 second on the clock, certainly risk getting timed out.
141 for
Curran electing to take a 5 kilo jump again there. Can't quite see him coming out onto the platform, so unsure if he'll take more. It's gone up to 142.
142, please. 142 for Curran. Thank you, Lotus. 142 is on the bar for you, Curran.
Here comes Curran now for his second clean and jerk. 142 on the bar.
Tidy clean there from Curran. Take a bit of work to keep it overhead, but he's got it.
Didn't quite balance that jerk correctly. Didn't look hard. Just
misplaced it slightly, yeah.
Yeah, didn't quite get his feet in the right place, I'd hazard.
But importantly, a solid lockout throughout, so no doubt in the judge's eyes that it was a good lift.
Laughing to himself there. Knew that he probably shouldn't have been walking it around the platform.
Catching his breath there after a big lift.
143 in the bar for Curran Howard's third attempt. Curran, you have 2 minutes.
These big lifts tend to take the breath out of you.
This is where strategy can really come into it, and if you want to force someone out to take an attempt they're not quite prepared for, you can often capitalise on it. But lifted a follow we're expecting will be Xavier on 145. Given that he's in a separate category to Curran, unlikely that he'll force him out early.
Thank you, Lotus. 145 kilos in the bar for Xavier Albert. Xavier, you have 1 minute.
And here we have have Xavier coming out on 145 for his opening clean and jerk.
Nice jerk there.
That is solid lockout. I do recall him power cleaning some fairly similar weights at North Island last year, so he's certainly got the pulling strength in him.
And 3 white lights from the judges, so they definitely agreed.
Thank you, ladies. We have a change of lifter. Jerome's gone up, so we've got 145 on the bar. This will change the lifting order to Karen Power for her third attempt. Karen, you have 1 minute.
So we've still got 145 on the bar, expecting Curran to come out and take this.
Stop the clock. We've got another weight change.
He's moved up to 147.
146, please, Lotus. 146 kilos.
So currently the call is on Xavier at 146, but given that he's made 145, we're expecting him
Thank
to
you,
move
Lotus.
up as well.
146 on the bar. Here, Xavier.
Put the call back on Curran. Jerome looking to take 148 for his third attempt. Should be an 8-kilo jump from his second attempt. So we'll have to see whether him and Curran kind of shuffle around.
Let's stop the clock. We have another weight change. Lotus 147, please. 147 kilos for Curran.
So bar now being loaded to 147, which is the weight that Curran has declared.
147
He
kilos.
looks like
on
he's
the
readying
bar.
up to come out on it.
Now his third clean and jerk attempt.
And his coach isn't near the table, so I think this will be the weight that he takes. Just waiting out the clock a little bit to get that extra bit of rest in.
Collecting himself, getting himself ready, and here he comes now, up on the stage. It's a big lift for Karen.
Very big lift.
Nice clean.
Easiest clean of the lot. Fortunately, just couldn't quite put it in that pocket. He'll be fairly happy with his performance today. So should Johan come out on the 150 that he has put down for his first attempt, he would put himself in the lead.
As a spectator, you might think that the jerk is all about the arms, but the jerk is actually all about the leg strength you have left, and after a heavy clean like Karen just did, sometimes your legs, you just don't quite have it left in you, and you feel okay, but just don't get that elevation on the bar, and you can see that in just him not quite getting the height there, that was probably the driver of that missed lift rather than any major technical fault.
Here we've got Jerome coming out on 148. Curran has quite a sizable lead on him in the total. So this will just be looking to increase his total rather than increase his PC. Bar a little bit behind there, making him work for it in the clean. start to nail you a bit.
349.
Clearly gave us all to that lift though.
Absolutely.
This all great use of the platform from
Vesta looks like he's taking this one.
I believe he needs a 154 clean and jerk in order to put himself where he wants to be on the Commonwealth Games rankings. So he'll be likely looking to get a lift in here to secure a total, and then probably push some heavier weights to be a real contender. Tidy clean there from Vesta. And a solid jerk.
Really nice looking opener there, Vesta.
So looking at the scoreboard here, we've got 3 or 4 lifters who have all declared 150 as their opening attempt. So by Vesta going 1 kilo below, he gets that first attempt in, doesn't need to worry about timing his warm-ups as much with all the changes coming through.
And gives himself a little bit of rest before he needs to come out and hit those bigger weights where he'll be really trying to lock in the total for his Commonwealth Games qualification. So smart move by Vesta and his coach there.
Here we have Xavier coming out for his second attempt at 149. Got some really good height on the bar beforehand, so clean likely won't be the issue for him.
And another great lift for Xavier. Hopefully the judges agree with me. Yes, they do. 3 white lights. Looking very strong and very confident in his clean and jerks today.
Next up, we've got all the lifters coming out on 150, or at least putting their opening lifts at 150. Johan, I see, has already moved up to 155. Looking like Colin might be coming out on this weight now.
He is there by side of stage, ready to go. So likelihood is he's, yep, here he comes.
150 kilos on the bar for you for your first and final attempt. Maybe your first.
Good lift there, and the refs are happy with it. Colin also been lifting for quite a while now. I remember a few years back he competed as a 77 at the national championship, so this is a wee way above that. Generally competes as an 89 kilo lifter these days. This will also be his first year as a masters lifter as he turns 35 this year.
Right now we have Ethan up for his first attempt in his clean and jerk.
A little bit shaky there. Just have to see what the referees think.
Well done. We try to 150.
And the referees are happy.
For Xavier Albert's 30.
Very quickly done lift there. No fussing about. What you'll start to see here with the heavier weights is that lifters will try capitalise on the bend of the bar as they dip down. As I mentioned earlier, if you slow down your dip, you just don't quite get that same bend, which can help you propel the bar upwards as it straightens back out.
We have a change. 153. 153 kilos.
Lots of changes going on here as the coaches out the back jockey for position, get their lifter in the best possible place.
Thank you. 153 on the bar.
Without declaring too much to their competitors about what their next plan is.
We've got Xavier coming out now on 153. We're expecting the lifter to follow to be Vesta at 154. Given that that's the lifter needs to really put himself in the Commonwealth rankings, he will probably choose to take it. Another strong clean there. And a good lift.
So 3 from 3 in the clean and jerk for Xavier. He'll be feeling really happy about that, coming back from probably a snatch session that didn't quite go the way he hoped. So really can be quite hard to bounce back from that, but excellent result for Xavier out of the clean and jerks today. Coming away with a 278 total, which currently has him in first place in the 96 kilo class. A few lifters still to come though, so we may see that change.
We've got Vesta very eager. Plenty of time left on the clock.
Wants this lift.
Come on. Right.
Tough clean there. But a very solid jerk. He'll be stuck with that.
Just mistimed the clean a little bit, caught him a bit off balance off the bottom, but really good correction, and he will be really happy with that lift. That 154 gives him a 282 total, and at this point in time, that puts him in a pretty strong position for the Commonwealth Games ranking list. So
I also see that he's wearing some pretty fresh Addy Powers, which shoes that are no longer made anymore, so he's done well to get his hands on those.
Thank you, Lotus. 155 on the bar for Johan Roberts. You've got 1 minute.
here comes Johan now for his opening clean and jerk at 155, the youngest competitor in the field.
Refs will be pretty happy with that lift, as they are. Johan's certainly getting a lot of whip on that lift.
And the whip is the bend you were referring to before, isn't it?
Definitely.
Thank you, Logan.
letting gravity pull the outside of the barbell down so that as you turn and change direction to jerk it up, it whips the bar up and gives you extra projection to the top of the jerk. Demystifying weightlifting over here. Jodie and Declan on commentary.
Colin coming out on 155 as well.
Up, come on. Yep, nice. Come on. Yeah, nice.
Great jerk there from Colin.
Another great lift.
No doubt in his mind or anyone in the audience.
Yep, judge is very happy with that. Expecting Ethan to come out now for a second attempt at 156.
Stop the clock.
Ethan moving up to 158, which is now
This is a change of lifter.
forced Colin out, but Colin's going up as well. So we're expecting possibly Vesta to come out on 157.
This will bring Vesta onto the...
Given that 154 was on the heavier side, Vesta might elect to take this, but nope, I am wrong. He's moved up to 159.
Another change. Stop the clock. We have 158, please. 158.
Call currently on Ethan, taking another 8 kilo jump, just as he did in the snatches, going from 150 to 158. Unfortunately, not quite.
Unfortunately, no lift at 158 for Ethan. Could we please have that Titan globus?
Just looking at the replay there, yeah, just not quite in the right spot on her shoulders, which just makes it that much harder to stand up. So the bar remains at 158 for Ethan's third attempt. He'll have 2 minutes should he decide to take the same weight.
Thank you, ladies. 158 being Titan for you, Ethan. You have 2
If he
minutes.
moves up, then it'll change the call to Johan. Johan and Vesta move up now.
159.
That will
This will
force
bring Johan Roberts
Ethan
to
back
the
out a little
platform for
early.
the second attempt.
So
Johan
Johan,
has moved up.
yep. And the call now comes back to Vesta.
Ladies, 159 will remain on the bar. We're going to change a lifter. This will bring Vesta.
But Vesta is preparing to take this now.
So this lift is also important for Vesta as it will shift him up that Commonwealth Games ranking. Moves him up a few places, in fact, if he is successful. Fighting hard for that clean, but much better position than the previous lift.
If he holds on to this,
And 3 white lights. That
so
is
happy.
an amazing day of lifting for Vesta, 6 for 6, and
Quite
high
possibly a
stakes
PB total.
in a high stakes competition. So he'll be really happy with that.
This will bring Water Leslie Granaki from Tonga to the platform for his first attempt.
So currently he will be in 6th place on the Commonwealth Games, the Commonwealth rankings,
Change 160 will remain
pending the results of the other competitions occurring this weekend. Now we've got 160 on the bar for Cam Urgett. reasonably routine clean. A little bit shaky on that left elbow.
See how the judges, no lift unfortunately, so you called it there, Declan. Judges just noticing that infringement of the rules as well. Otherwise a very confident lift, so it'll be interesting to see whether he takes that again or moves up for his second attempt.
Thank you, Lotus.
Bar being tightened at 160. This will be for Johan's second attempt.
So Johan with his first clean and jerk took out the lead in the first place in the men's 81 today. So he's just now looking to extend on that lead.
This will give him, well, he'll take his own clean and jerk record and total. Fortunately just missed out on the snatch record today. Unfortunately just misplaced that. But he racked it, so certainly the potential to get it the next time round.
And plenty of height there, so I think potentially just a slight positional error.
Thank you, Lotus. 160 on the bar. This will bring Cam Urban to the platform for his second clean and jerk attempt. Cam, you've got 1 minute. Right, we have Cam's going up. 160 will remain on the bar. I'll change the lifter to Colin Cleaner for his third attempt. Colin, you've got 1 minute.
So Cam pushing Colin out here. Electing to go up by 1 kilo and changing the lifting order, giving him some more breathing room. Here comes Colin now for his third and final clean and jerk.
Very difficult clean there. Hopefully he has the legs to secure the jerk. Unfortunately just not quite. Another possible infringement on the clean is if your arms or your elbows touch your knees. Colin got close, but certainly nowhere near getting called out for that.
Brave attempt though.
Johan coming out now. Bar is still at 160. The current junior total record is 276, so he'll be looking to extend that by 4 kilos if this lift is successful. Unfortunately, the same error again. Slightly corrected, but just not enough.
We have 161 on the bar. This will bring Cam Urban to the platform for his second attempt.
Overall a good day though for Johan still, taking out the men's 81, a 275 kilo total. Can't be unhappy with that.
Yep.
Thank you, Lotus. 161 on the bar for Cam, second attempt.
Cam racing on for his second attempt. Looking to build some adrenaline. Reasonably easy clean. And a more convincing jerk this time around. Hopefully the referees are happy with that.
And they are 3 white lights for Cam. Now on the board. And with that lift takes the lead in the men's 96.
Ethan's taken a pretty big lift, well, a pretty big jump from his previous successful lift. 11 kilos, moving from 150 to 161.
Ballsy.
Thank you, Lotus. 161 on the bar for Ethan Dombrowski. Ethan, you've got 1 minute.
Unfortunately, not quite.
And that's another from Ethan. Lotus, give 163 on the bar. This will bring Douglas to come and raise it to the platform.
So we're expecting the bar to be loaded to 163. On that replay there, you just see that positions just matter so much. You can have all the power in the world, but if you just can't put it in the right direction, it's not going to transfer over to weightlifting as you'd expect.
Here comes Doug now for his opening clean and jerk. 163 kilos. Wanting to come into the competition, make a statement, and chase down that total that he's looking for today.
Finish. 4.
And a routine clean for the Doug. And what looks to be a good lockout. He's got his feet together. The ref's happy.
And that's a little bit
Mostly.
for Douglas. Lotus, can we have 1?
That's all you need though, 2 white lights. So it's a good lift for Doug and he is on the board.
These are pretty heavy lifts relative to his all-time best. I think he's done 170 before. But he'll need something in the ballpark of a 313 total to put him in a good placing in the Commonwealth rankings. So, 170s to do that. Blue plate coming out now for 165. Going to bring Cam Taggart to the platform. Unfortunately, Cam didn't secure a snatch, so he's not competing in the total, but looking to put on a show in the clean and jerks.
Here comes Cam now, bringing plenty of determination to the platform. And a very, very routine clean and jerk for Cam. His opening and lift there.
Somewhat of a jerk specialist, so if he's cleaned it, you can be reasonably certain he'll put it overhead.
And making a statement there as he stalks off the stage.
Wire, our Tongan lifter this session, coming in on 165.
No mucking about, straight to the barbell.
Fortunately, just didn't quite rack that.
We tried 165, please, Lotus.
Certainly had height on it though, so potentially come out and get that in the second attempt.
I think his coach will be giving him a cue just to make sure he gets his elbows in the right position there, be able to rack that bar. Just a little bit low in that clean.
Wire, we've got 2 minutes.
Wire following himself, so he gets the 2-minute call.
Coach isn't quite near the table, so we're not expecting them to be moving up.
And that 30-second call has just passed through the time, so that confirms to us that he will be taking that weight again. Unless his coach had declared it earlier, which the coach leaning over the table now. Wonder who the change is for.
They will have waited for the first minute to pass intentionally.
It looks like that change was for Doug, so looks like we will expect to see Wire come out on this weight. There's 43 seconds on the clock. Here he comes.
Good correction there.
Unfortunately, no lift.
Not too sure what happened there.
Looks like Wire may have got a little bit dizzy at the top of the clean. It happens. Means times you're unable to take the jerk, just the effort of the clean.
Just being able to
Yeah,
change
closed
the
up.
direction of that bar there in the jerk does take quite an amount of effort, so it's a reasonably common place for lifters to fail.
You see there, he just closes those eyes after that clean and unracking the bar as the blood rushes back into your brain, essentially. So I think that's probably what happened there. Just goes to show the amount of effort that these lifters put into each and every lift.
Stop the clock, we have a change. We have 166 on the bar, please. 166.
Wire moving up to 166, looking to buy himself a bit more time. This will likely bring Cam Urgent out. Racing onto the platform once again.
Brings a lot of energy to the platform, doesn't he?
Certainly a lifter that likes to hype himself up. Fighting there to keep it on his shoulders. Unfortunately, not quite enough there on the jerk. Been some big attempts here, both in the snatches and the clean and jerks.
Yeah, comes away with a 296 total today. And definitely left it all out there.
Thank you, There's 166 being 2 items for you, Wire. We will still change. You have 1 minute.
Unfortunately, another no lift there for Wire.
Unfortunately for Wire, that means he finishes the competition without a total. He'll be really disappointed in that. Especially because he will have opened with what would be a relatively routine number for him. So to not make a total is always really disappointing when you know you can do those lifts.
Thank you, Logan. Douglas, you have 1 minute.
So we got the bar loaded at 167 now for Doug's second attempt. Put him at a 303 total. He's currently in first place, so looking to extend his lead.
Hi. Finish. Pull.
Unfortunately, not quite on the jerk there. Looking to go away and make some corrections and hopefully get that on this next attempt. Cam McTaggart's put his second attempt as 171, so unless Doug moves up to match that, he'll be following himself.
Doug is currently in the lead of the men's 96 kilo. He's locked in that first place position today. So I guess it remains to be seen what decision he makes now around whether he chases the number or wants to just extend his first place position.
The 313 he'd need to really put himself in the Commonwealth Games rankings. Seems to be a little bit out of reach. But very little to lose by going after it at this stage.
Electing to take the same weight again. Wanting to lock in a solid performance.
Height. Finish. Pull.
Another good clean there. Doug opting to catch the bar. Next out, we'll have Cam McTaggart at 171. So no more lifters remaining in this session. Cam will definitely be the next one out. Cam, normally competing as an 81 or an 89 kilo lifter, might use this opportunity to take the 96 senior record of 176. Probably opting to do that on his third attempt should he be successful here. Another solid one there from Cam. Probably gets more height on the bar slam than he does on his actual clean.
I think Cam is channeling some energy into these lifts. Probably feels a little bit let down in himself on his snatch performance, so coming out here and really showing everyone what he can do with his clean and jerks. And to be honest, I love to see it. So
now his coach and him will be quite tactical with their remaining changes, looking to buy him some more time.
As we've said before, Cam is a seasoned pro. He has been representing New Zealand at weightlifting for a long, long time. I don't know how many years, but as long as I've been around in weightlifting, and I've been in weightlifting around 8 years now, so still only in his mid-20s, so got plenty of competition years ahead of him should he choose to stay in the sport. And based on what we're seeing today, I think that passion and love for the sport is alive and well.
Possibly has one remaining change. And if they go over 175, which they will,
Loads, big ones.
brings out the red plates, which buys them that little bit more time.
These are the tactics Declan was talking about. His two-minute clock is going to end up being about 3 or 4 minutes by the time he gets on the platform. And that's all part of the game.
And put their final change of 176 in, so making an attempt at that record.
Thank you, Logan. 176 is loaded on the bar for Clemens 17. Clock resumes 132.
Here he comes now. Up onto the stage.
And a good deadlift there from Ken.
And unfortunately, another foot down.
Just a little too heavy today, but he certainly gave it a good crack. We'll have the prize giving shortly, so please stay tuned for that.
Referee's just getting a photo there up on screen.
Please call up all the medalists for the last session. To present the medals is the technical officials manager, Barbara Green. So, gold medal in the men's 73 category, Mr. Villian. Now we move to the men's 81. In third place we have Jerome Tura. And in second place from New Zealand, Curran Powell. And in first place from New Zealand, Johan Rowan. Now in the men's 96 category, third place we have Xavier Albert from New Zealand. In second place we have Cam Ergett from New Zealand. And in first place from New Zealand we have Douglas Sikone Fraser. Thank you, medalists.
All our lifting for today.
Final session for today. Thank
Can you
for
please
came out.
join us tomorrow at 10 o'clock for our third session of the New Zealand International